welcome everybody. I'm Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and I've got this week's Pick a Card Weekly Tarot reading. So pick a number now, 1 to 5, and I'll do a psychic tarot interpretation, okay? If you're seeing this in the future, not this week, which is the last week of April, don't worry about the time because you'll still know it still applies regardless of the date, okay? Just tune into your body. If you feel something, you know it's for you. It's very simple. Okay, so have you got your number, 1 to 5? You can have more than one number if you'd like. Let's go to the board now. Here we go. All right, so we're doing card number 1. I like to have a little vision first. What's this parachute? It's like a parachute jumping out of a plane or something. Could mean two things. Take a risk and it'll turn out okay. Or it could mean like you've got a second chance, like your parachute is like if the plane's in trouble, say you work for a company that is going down, it's declining or something like that, or you're in a relationship that's declining, use your parachute and you can get away without getting, you can come out unscathed, basically. Let's have a look and see what the cards have to say. Okay, the Justice card. This comes up a fair bit, actually. It's about karmic justice, okay, natural law, L-O-R-E rather than L-A-W, although this does help with L-A-W as well. So you'll see the sort of truth here. She has to cut through a lot of evidence or a lot of information. She has to weigh it up. She has to listen to the owl on her shoulder, which is given her intuition because she's got a blindfold on, so she can't actually see what's going on. But listening to the owl, listening to her intuition, weighing up the evidence in front of her will help her make a decision, okay? That's the sort of truth. Cutting through, analysing, dissecting, being logical, keeping your feet on the ground and being practical, taking action. That's what you'll be doing fairly soon about something that could change your life because it's a major arcana card. It can be fairly major. A butterfly with black and gold, or sort of like a really bright yellow, just flew past my window, a really big one. And this suggests to me that it's new life. Gold is the solar plexus, so it's about achieving things. And it's also possibly to do with fatherhood issues as well. Maybe, in a relationship, a male partner may have had too much sway over you in some way. The other interesting thing I'm seeing now is there's like mist, and it's quite late in the morning for this floating mist to be floating past my window. And that suggests to me, I can't remember, I mean you might see it in the winter, but we're not in winter yet, so it's a bit weird. That suggests to me that it's sort of like walking around in a fog. There's mist and things are not really clear cut, okay? So that might be why it's hard to make a decision on something if it's not clear cut, because, you can always sort of float either side of, what you're thinking. There's always other possibilities, put it that way, okay? The mist will clear. So yeah, be patient, it will come clear to you. Number two, what do I see? I see a brass helmet, reminds me of the Roman centurions. Now, they're celebrating, they're coming back from war. Okay, so you may have been through a hard time and it's like it's all over, and you can return to yourself, I guess is the best way of saying it. Return home, return to yourself. There's some sort of celebratory energy in the air as well. So you may be coming up for some happiness in the short term. Let's see what card comes up. The Fool card, another major arcana. Step out, take a risk. Some people won't want you to do that, though. This little dog is saying, no, 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 don't take needless risks. You know, that would be foolish. But you still need to take action. Can't just sit back and do nothing and wait for all things to come to you, okay? It's like step out, take a risk. There's a lot of growth and experience in that. And you either sprout wings and fly like an angel, or you end up in the drink, in which case you'll be down, you know, your subconscious energy, your subconscious waters will be coming up. But sometimes there's gifts in that. So you may feel more confident. You might find your psychic ability or intuition increasing. You might feel more creative. Any possible artistic leanings might come out. So whether that be, you know, painting, drawing, or music, something like that. But you know, this is a really favourable card, and I always think that if you take a risk, even if it doesn't work out, what you're thinking when you go into it, it may not work out, but it's going to give you some sort of reward somewhere, okay? It can literally change your life. Number 3, a plane is flying over my house, and they're not supposed to be so low, but they often are, because I live on a hill, so, or very nearly a mountain. I don't know when does it go from being a hill to being a mountain? There must be a certain elevation. I don't know what it is. And let me know in the comments if you know when something goes from being a hill to a mountain. But a plane, okay, the ability to soar into the sky, the ability to get in touch with your mind, to be intimately connected with brilliant thoughts and flashes of insight, okay, and we all need to think sometimes, but you know, you don't want to overthink things either. It's really all about balance, isn't it? The card that comes up is the King of Swords, all about thinking. Sometimes this can go overboard, this card. It can be so caught up in thinking that it forgets things like, this energy forgets things like compassion. There's no compassion in this King of Swords. He is at this high place in stature because he has been through hard times. He's learnt what works, and he's very logical and analytical and cuts right through to the core of the issue. Sometimes that's useful. There's a lot of lawyers that sort of relate to this type of energy. See the diamonds here in the background, the ability to think and cut right through to the core of the matter and get to where you want to go. However, we're more than that. We are humans, and we should guard against losing our humanity, and I see that more and more in society today. Science is becoming the new godhead. Look at AI, for example. It's supposed to be a tool for us, but yet there's this great danger that it'll end up, we'll become the slaves of AI in some way. So this card has to be in balance, as I was saying in the vision. There's lots of butterflies in the background here. So new beginnings, new ideas coming through. Just don't lose your humanity with it, okay? We are more than just our minds of what we think. The heart is equally important, along with our spiritual life as well, the soul. Number four, what do I see? I see teeth. It's like I'm in somebody's mouth, and I'm looking at the teeth, and the roots are going right down into the gums. I can see right, like I've got x-ray vision, so I can see right down into the gums. And the ones in the front don't look too bad, you know, but I sort of got a bit of a feeling, yes, on the right side, there it is, bingo, there's a hole. Okay, please go to the dentist if you've got issues with your teeth, especially on the right side. Okay, so teeth are indicators of developmental hurdles, things that might have happened when you were a child, and we can't always achieve every developmental hurdle we're supposed to when we're children. Sometimes we're just in a difficult situation. There might be neglect or abuse or poverty, and what can a child do about that? You know, it's very hard, isn't it? So there's something there from the past on childhood issues that needs to be looked at if you pick card number 4. However, you can't change what happened. However, you can change how you deal with it now and how you respond to the situation now. The card that comes up for you is the 4 of Swords. Okay, so the situation is basically saying you could be really tired or exhausted, and you do need plenty of rest. Now, normally we should be going for 8 hours a night. I think Brian Johnson, you know, the guy that's right into longevity, he wants 8 hours and 15 minutes. However, you know, 8 to 9 hours I think is the optimal amount, and I don't care how old you are. People say when you're older, when you're over 50, when you're over 60, you don't need as much sleep. Well, actually, it's times like this that you do, because you have a lot of things in spirit that you need to deal with, and things coming back from your childhood that need to be dealt with, and they won't come back to you until you feel safe enough, or until you've got the resources to deal with them. Okay, they will stay submerged in your subconscious and run your life until you deal with them, and then when the time is right, they will come up, and that's the time to go for it. That's why we need to sleep, because it's not just about resting the body, it's about dealing with the past. And sometimes that can even go back to your ancestral past, not even you, your ancestors, what they had to deal with, and sometimes it's past lives too. Okay, but this indicates that you need a lot of sleep right now if you pick card number 4, and I would just be getting as much as I could. If you have to sleep in the daytime, that's all right too. Okay, number 5 is alive. Something else I've got to tell you about that on number 4. It's just not. Let me just have another look. See, yeah, okay. A mirror to the soul. Okay, the eyes are windows of the soul, and there's also something about the mouth being a mirror of the soul. So I think it's really mirrors and windows. Okay, reflections. You're likely to say things that are giving hints to what's going on, what the issues are, if they're from your childhood or not. You're likely, if you catch yourself, you know, saying something that's got a bit of a vibe on it, that's probably the best way to put it. It's got a bit of a vibe on it, you know that you have more work to do. We've always got more work. I don't care if you're 80 or 90. There's still something there in your subconscious you can deal with. You don't have to take it with you. Take it over when you pass. Otherwise, you've got to do it next life. So better to deal with everything you can. Number 5 is alive. Yeah, deal with everything you can while you're on this planet now. All right, number 5. Okay, what's these ice walls in front of me? They're very, very high. It's like putting a cold wall up to somebody. Then you have to walk all the way around. It's a very long way, so it delays your journey. So if you have any walls up to people, if you don't talk to people, or there's a wall up, maybe consider, if you can, taking that wall down, because that's delaying you spiritually in some way. All right, doesn't mean you have to put up with their rubbish if they're going on with rubbish. It doesn't mean that at all. You can still speak out, but if you put a wall up, you know, the cold shoulder treatment, it's delaying you. The card that comes up is the 8 of Wands, all about brilliant ideas coming into your mind. When you put a wall up, you not only shut that other person out, you're also shutting off part of yourself. And if you shut off part of yourself, that may affect your ability to get brilliant ideas, flashes of insight, flashes of intuition. You don't want to do that to yourself. The subconscious is here, the full moon, and it's got things it wants to tell you. So I would have all the walls down if possible. I know sometimes, you know, it's difficult, especially in families or in relationships. But yeah, you're shutting off part of yourself. So just be aware of that. Alrighty, so that is this week's Pick a Card, 2 major arcana Swords, wands. Okay, a lot of mental activity this week. It's a great time to be thinking about things, to be planning, to be strategizing, working out your next move. And don't forget, if you're number 4, you need a lot of rest. Okay, so it takes time out for that. Thank you so much for watching this week. I really appreciate it. Have a fabulous week. I've got some news coming about the channel, which I will put up later on this week. I just got to get the exact right words. But yeah, we're having big changes going on. Okay, I hope it's for the better. I'll be looking for your feedback on that too. Have a great day. Have a great week. Bye for now.